Hi guys, how you doing? So this is Christelle for episode 15 of my inspiration podcast, podcast about knitting and yarn dyeing. You will find the episode notes just below. Click on the plus below to get to the show notes. I will put links of things I'm talking about for this episode, as well as useful links. So there is a link to my website, to my Etsy shop, and most importantly, there is a link to my newsletter. So the newsletter is really the best way to keep in touch and to receive news about Tricot Stitch. And there's a free pattern for you when you subscribe. That's the Jimmy Shawl pattern. So you can also click on like and subscribe if you wish to be notified when there's a new episode up. But usually I also send a newsletter. So how have you been doing? I wasn't sure I would have time to record a new episode, and here I am. I have a lot of content to share because the last 10 days I've been pretty active at Tricot Stitch, and there are a few things I want to share with you. The first being this gorgeous finished object. So that's my Lovenote Sweater, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's quite big actually, because I have a lot of ease. Yes, I have a lot of ease, so I can show you if I can stand up. You see, there is a lot of positive ease, but that's fine by me because I wanted something with, you know, for a crop top, I wanted something with a lot of positive ease. So that's size XL and double XL. And I used 2 skeins of each quality. So I knitted it in extra thin, in my yarns, extra thin single. So that's 400 meters for 100 grams, and mohair and silk, and in the French kiss colorway. And actually I ran out of yarn at the very end, so I was able to knit the whole sweater, but I ran out of single at the bind off of the second sleeve. So what I did is that I used, I had a little bit of mohair and silk left over because that is 420 meters for 50 grams. And so with that yarn held double, I bind off all the stitches on the sleeve, on the second sleeve, and I knitted the caul. So if you have a close look, you'll see that it's only mohair here held double. There is no fingering weight yarn, but I mean it's pretty, well, it's not really obvious if I don't, you know, tell it. Yeah, it doesn't show really. So I was happy to keep it down to 2 skeins of each, because yeah, it would have been a pity to, you know, just cake a third skein just for that little bit. And moreover, it's all my fault because I knitted the sleeves maybe 1 inch longer than the pattern calls for. As well for the body, I made it a bit longer, and it was not intentional for the sleeves. So if I had kept the sleeves in the recommended you know, size, I would have had enough with 2 skeins of fingering single. So all in all, very happy about this finished object. It's great, it looks lovely, I love the color. And what's funny about that is, you know, the last time I recorded the podcast was episode 14. I told you we were going on a day trip to the beach the day after, and actually the weather was not so great. There was a lot of rain, some thunderstorms, and so that was at the end of the day, and but the day was mostly cloudy with a lot of wind. we were able to enjoy the beach up to 3 o'clock, so that was fine because we were there since the morning. There was not many people on the beach, so you know, social distanciation was okay. But I had a sweater, but my older daughter, the eldest, forgot to take her sweater, so I gave her my sweater and I knitted on this like crazy because I had just, you know, the second sleeve to finish and then the yoke to pick up and knit. And so what I did is that I gave her my sweater and then I really speeded up to finish that, and I ended the day with my brand new Lovenote to keep me warm because it was a bit, you know, cold. And I didn't wave in the ends or anything. I was just so happy to have something to keep me warm because, I mean, it was really, really cold and it was pouring rain. I mean, we were having an early dinner at just outside a restaurant with, you know, just something above our head to keep from being wet with the rain. And it was like raining a lot, and we had that weather from 5 p.m. until like we went home, and it rained during the night like 12 hours, almost 12 hours without stopping, and we were at the beach on that day. So that was the best day to choose to be on the beach. Fortunately, the little towns we went to, there is some beaches, but the towns are lovely as well. The architecture is lovely. We went to Etretat, which has a lot of beautiful and picturesque sights to behold, and it was lovely. It was at Etretat. It's very well known for the cliffs. It kind of makes me think of Paul Dark where he lives in Cornwall. It looks like that a bit, Etretat. It's really gorgeous. So we were able to have a walk down the beach, and it's a pebble beach at Etretat. It's not a sand beach. And we didn't go to walking on the cliffs because, you know, with our kids we are a bit afraid of one or the other falling off the cliff, so we just watched them from afar. We didn't go on the cliff path, but it was gorgeous. It was a lovely day, and we went home very late, very wet. But I was warm because I had my Lovenote sweater. So that's the story about this. It's really like knit fast and keep warm. The other project I've been working on is my rocket tee. Not much progress to share there because my arm is still hurting. But yeah. I mean, it's nearing the end. I really would like to finish it before I leave for vacation. I'm leaving next Thursday, so today is Monday, August the 3rd. I'm leaving next Saturday, and I really would like to have that finished and wear it to leave for the holidays. Although the weather forecast for next Saturday is like 37 degrees Celsius, so that's very, very hot. I don't know if that's going to be the best choice of garment for such a day, but well, you know, a knitter can be stubborn, and I might just wear it even if it's too hot. And the other project I've been working on is my Stillness shawl. So no need to tell you about spoilers now because the big reveal has happened. And I'm really nearing the end as well. My objective is to finish those two projects before I leave for my vacation. And I mean, it's possible if I just knit a lot. It's going to be possible. I'm having an exam for my arm tomorrow. We'll see. I hope it's not too bad or something that needs me not using it at all for a length of time. I hope it's not that. I would be very sad. and unemployed. But yeah, here it is. It is glorious. It's beautiful. I can't wait to have it, you know, blocked. And the reason why I want to, you know, have this done before I leave for my vacation is because last Saturday I hosted a cast on party on Instagram. It was an Instagram live on Saturday, and it was a lot of fun, and I cast on for a lot of projects, and I really want to be working on those projects now. I wish all that was finished already so that I can knit on the new projects. But you know, you have to be reasonable and finish those projects first because I want to wear them. So the first project for which I cast on was the Westfjord Wanderer. You might remember from the previous episode, I have this project of knitting the Westfjord Wanderer in 7 different yarn, different bases to mix, instead of mixing the colors, mix the bases and the textures of the bases. And so that's the first wedge, and it's using Surrey and mohair fluff. So that's those 2 yarns. No, not this one, sorry. That one and that one. So that's Surrey lace and mohair and fluff. And so those are colorways that I dyed together to, especially for this project. They do not have a name. It's just a combination of 7 different bases that I dyed together in a gradient sort of way, especially for this project. I'm going to check if my idea works out or not. So that's the first wedge, and it's really interesting to see because we are knitting here a yarn that's so shiny. It's wired. Yes, voilà. It's like it's wired on electricity, and it shines. And because I mean the silk content is very high, and it's gorgeous. And it's knitted with Surrey, which is it's a matte finish. Surrey has a matte finish. So you can see that it has both qualities, and it's interesting, and it's super soft, really, really soft. So yeah, I'm going to, you know, keep on knitting on that. I just want to do only that, knit on your new projects. Now the next yarn in the queue is this one. It's a mix, it's a single base, it's a mix between mohair and merino, and I'm really looking forward to see what it does. So that's for the Westfjord Wanderer. Then I cast on for 2 new Rocket Tea, because why not? So that's the one I showed you the last time, but I just want to share with you. Yes, so I casted on for the first Rocket Tea. That's for my daughter, using my Cocktail by the Pool colorway on slub. I'm going to use Surrey for this one. So that's the same pattern as the one I'm working on here. Here I used mohair and silk, and for the one for my daughter I'm going to use Surrey and silk. And I cast on for a second Rocket Tea, and that time it's going to be for me. And I'm using a very joyful and colorful yarn. It's a Dirty Rainbow on lurex, so there's sparkle, and on mohair and silk, and yeah, cast on check. And that kind of yarn is actually really pretty on the needles because you can see the color change. It's lovely. So both are on the needle and waiting for me, so I just need to, you know, power up on the knitting to be able to be working on them as soon as possible. And then the fourth project for which I cast on was a second love note, because you know I love that one so much. I really wanted to have another one more with more autumnal shades of colors. So I'm using this is a new colorway called Modu, and Modu translates to love notes. So that's a colorway I really dyed for this project, for the love note, but it's going to be a regular colorway in the Tricot stitch colors because I love it so much. So it's the same base as for the Westfjord Wanderer. It's a mix of merino, it's 56% merino and 44% mohair, and it's super soft, a single base. And this is Surrey. I'm keen on testing the Surrey to bring it to the shop actually. So that's why I'm knitting a lot of projects with it. I want to make up my mind. I'm curious. And this is the cast on. So I've not even joined in the run yet. So all those projects are calling me. They're calling my name. I really want to knit them, but you know, I'm reasonable. I want to finish the other two first. So that's it for the project. I cast on for two designs as well because you know my design mojo is a bit gone because of the lockdown and everything, and because it's typically something I found really difficult to do when I don't have any time to myself, which is the case right now because I mean the kids are around all the time. And yeah, I do not have any free mind space, if that's making any sense. So yeah, I mean knitting design mojo is really down the drain, but I decided to force it a bit by casting on for two new projects, two new designs to be. Now see where it goes. I really wanted to act and cast on, and yeah, I did that, and we'll see what it does, if it goes anywhere. I wanted to talk to you also, it will be a shorter episode today, but I wanted to talk to you about the agenda because I'm going to be part of two events in September, and the first one was I had been selected to be a vendor at the Perth Festival of Yarn, and I was so happy about that. It was such a joy for me to be able to be a vendor there because I've always wanted to visit Scotland for a start. So I had planned to take a few days off and visit a bit of Scotland. But anyway, it's not, I mean, I will visit Scotland another time. Because the good thing is that Perth Festival of Yarn, well, it's not going to happen physically, but has gone online, and Eva, the organizer, is having a shop on the dates of the festival, so it will be open on September 12th and 13th. And there will be there products from all the vendors that were to participate in the 2020 edition that are going to be exclusive to her shop. So I wanted to share with you what I prepared for Eva's shop, for the Perth Festival of Yarn shop, and it's a set of minis that will be available only in the shop, and it's colors with my fall palette. So I wanted to show you also, I knitted some samples to show you how the colors knit up, and I'm really happy about those. I love each and every color separately. I'm going to have the colors available in my shop separately, but not in mini format and not sold as a set. So this will be for the Perth Festival of Yarn only, and the name is Perth Festival of Yarn set of mini skins. And because I've just bought a new book, The Crochet Workshop by Erika Knight, I've been crocheting like crazy. Nothing too fancy, but I find crochet sheds a new light on variegated colorway. They are gorgeous in crochet. So for example, I crocheted some samples for this set of mini skeins, and this is Ivy Confetti, and this is how it crochets, and I think it's lovely. This is Fury, and this is how it looks when it's crocheted. This is Hybrid, so Hybrides. My hair. This one is a big favorite of mine. I love it. That's the colorway I used for my Stillness color C. This is Modu, so that's the color I'm using for my second Lovenote. And the last one is another color that I used for my Stillness, and it's tarnished rose gold. And it's rose gold because you can see there is some pink in there. And so this is the minis, and I also knitted a sample. So forgive the ragged edges, it's because I didn't block it as I should have. But I just wanted to show you what it does when it's faded. So that's Fury, Modu, Tarnished Rose Gold, Hybrides, and Ivy Confetti. And I think they are lovely together. They will make a lovely pair of socks, for example. You know, there is this pattern from Orange Knit, I think. That's High Roll. High Roll is the name of the pattern, and it's basically a recipe for a faded sock. And the designer gives her method to fade in colors, and it's really gorgeous. And I wanted to knit a sock out of those, but as you can see, you have already a lot of knitting planned, and I think it wouldn't be reasonable to cast on for yet another project, because I'm pretty certain I won't be able to see all the projects I've just shown you to the end. Or if I do that, if I knit everything up to the finished object status, I'm going to have to knit for like 6 months. Anyway, I'm in a happy place now, so that's not a problem. Another thing I wanted to tell you is that there is a new pattern by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It's called Midnight Way, and it's lovely. It's a Halloween themed pattern, and even though I have a lot on my plate already, I'm going to stitch that pattern. I bought the pattern already. I am going to try and stitch from stash. I need to see if I have, because all the Picture Plus supplies both in the US and in the UK are gone. Everything is sold out. But the pumpkin told us that they had a very limited amount of supplies for this stitch along. It's a 4-month stitch along, and Halloween is really their strong suit at the Pumpkin Stitchery. What they do for Halloween is always lovely, and I love that so much. So I'm going to try and stitch from stash, and if that's not possible, I'm just going to, to buy just what I'm missing, and go with not a hand-dyed fabric, but well, that's a pity, because the hand-dyed fabric is really lovely, but maybe I will go with something with sparkles. It's always a good idea. So crochet, yeah, that book is great. There is a lot of beautiful projects. Things I want to crochet are, for example, that pair of fingerless gloves. And I think variegated yarns plays very well with crochet, and I want to give it a shot. That caul too is beautiful. And wait for it. That shawl is gorgeous. So I don't know when, but I think little crochet squares are really pretty by themselves and show off the color differently. So I crocheted a few samples from my, sorry, the ends are not waved in, but I crocheted some, little samples from my most variegated colorways. And for example, that thing is so pretty. It's Dreamy Ara, so that's the color I'm using for my Rocket Tea, but it's on the slub base, and I love how delicate it looks. The slub in crochet is a whole new thing. It's absolutely gorgeous, and there is clearly something to dig in there. I love that so much. This is Dirty Rainbow. That's the colorway I'm going to use for my second Rocket Tea. So it's gorgeous as well in crochet. That's another one of my variegated colorways. That's Love is the Answer, or The Answer is Love. I don't remember always. I think it's The Answer is Love. That's Corrupted Pink, and I think it's really lovely. Well, now I want to crochet all the things, really all the colorways, and this is Blueberry something. Again, that's lovely. So there is a growing pile here because, there was those for the Perth Festival of Yarn as well. Just hold on a sec. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, crochet. As if I needed a new hobby. But yes, crochet is quicker than knitting, and I mean, it's a lovely way to use variegated yarn. And what I like too is to be able to show what the yarns look both knitted and in crochet, and because I know there are a lot of crocheters and sewers out there, and I think it's a lovely craft, and I want to develop it a bit more. So you see, there is yarn dyeing here. Those are going to be, I'm going to show you, those are going to be in the shop later this week, I think on Wednesday. I need them to dry, and then I need to skin them up, and then I will put them in the shop. There are a bunch of new colorways. It was my last dyeing session today before I leave for my vacation. I had a very fun dyeing session. I have new colorways. That one is a new colorway. It's called Rose Ancienne, and it's the prettiest shade of beige and pink. It's gorgeous. But I will send a newsletter for this episode and the yarn I'm about to show you, and I will drop a quick newsletter to let you know when the rest is in the shop as well. If you wish to buy from the shop, know that anything you buy up until Thursday, August the 6th is going to ship the next day on August the 7th, and then from August the 7th orders are going to ship on September the 2nd. The shop will remain open, but I will not be shipping yarn during my vacation because I will not be here. Okay, so new yarn in the shop. First, there are 2 new Rocket Tees or Lovenote. So I have a Rocket Tee kit in the French Kiss colorway, the one I use for my Lovenote, but Rocket Tee kits double up as Lovenote kits. It depends on the quantity you're buying. So you have one French Kiss, And then I have an exhaustion colorway I want to share with you, which is quite amazing because honestly I cannot put a word on it. I don't know if it's beige, I don't know if it's green or gray or mauve. All the colors are in there. So you have, it's pastel, and it's the most amazing colorway. I think I called it Lovely Melon, and really that's what it is. It's a lovely shade of beige, and there are some mauve and grays and a bit of green, and it's gorgeous. And it's so that's the extra thin single base, and that's the Suri that I'm putting in the shop for the first time with as a kit. Would be a beautiful love note. Then I wanted to tell you that all the colors that I've shown you that are so the set of mini skeins is exclusive for the Perth Festival of Yarn, but the full skeins are available in the shop. So you have Ivy Confetti, you have Fury, Tarnish Rose Gold, Modu, and Hebrides. And I might add there are other, sorry about the microphone, I forget about the microphone all the time, sorry about the noise. I have also other lovely autumnal shades that are going in the shop, which are in the shop already. There is this lovely shade of brick, it's called Agatha, and it's gorgeous. And you also have this bronze colorway, which pairs very beautifully. I mean, this is a beautiful color palette if you wish to, you know, have a lovely fall project. There is also this pretty new colorway on Stellina, and it's light pink with lots of speckles, and I called it Fête Foraine, which is the French for a fair. Yes, I think that's a fair. You know, where you have the Ferris wheel and all the little booths. A county fair, maybe? Wow, that's Fête Foraine in French. I thought that would be beautiful, beautiful socks. I have some minis as well in the shop in that colorway, and that would make the most lovely, lovely socks. But again, just after dyeing that, I considered, you know, casting on some socks for myself, but I was like, no, I mean, too many projects. You have to be reasonable. You have to draw the line somewhere and be reasonable, because I mean, I cannot knit all the things. It's not possible. So some things have to go in the shop. Well, I think that's it for this week's episode, which is a bit shorter, but I think that's okay. I wish you a lovely month of August. Wish you a lovely break if you're taking a summer break. And I will be very, very happy to see you again in September. Okay, so have a nice time. Bye-bye.